Well, hello everyone, it's Jordan Howie here, and this video is on the top 20 Christian movies for 2025. All of the movies on this list have sound doctrine, and are truly edifying to watch. Biblically sound Christian movies, shows, music, short films, etc. are the best types of entertainment to indulge in on a regular basis. This also counts comedy platforms that are biblically sound. For example, Berean humor and Lutheran satire are both Christian comedy platforms, and they are both truly Christian comedy platforms. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things." When we check out movies, shows, or music that is labeled Christian, then we should use discernment to make sure that they are biblically sound, does not have any swearing, does not take the Lord's name in vain, does not promote wickedness, and does not promote nor teach heresies. If a biblically sound Christian movie teaches views on secondary or tertiary issues that you disagree with, then you can still enjoy that movie. For example, I believe in the post-tribulation rapture, and I still sometimes watch the 2016 movie called Vanished, which is a part of the Left Behind series, which teaches the pre-tribulation rapture. I still watch that movie sometimes, even though I believe in the post-tribulation view. The reason why is that I know that the topic of when the rapture will take place is 100% a secondary issue, and not a primary issue. Likewise, this topic has no effect on your salvation. On the other hand, we should abstain from mainstream secular movies, shows, and music due to how satanic such content is. A lot of it is also very profane as well. Romans 12:2 says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Alright, now this is the part where this begins. In the form of 5 slides. And it is 4 movies per slide. So that is how I have put this together in a presentation format. Let's start with the first 4 movies. The movies on this list are being counted ordinally instead of cardinally, like how the stories in this ministry are. For example, the first story in this ministry was Story 0, which is a story called Pride Comes Before the Destruction. Alright, now beginning the list. Number 1, Time Changer 2002. This is a godly movie that tells us about how things in society have gotten worse over the years. This movie also warns about the signs of the end times as well. This movie is theologically rich and is without a doubt one of the best Christian movies to watch. The movie also tells us that our actions have consequences. Number 2, Disciples in the Moonlight, 2024. This movie is also about the end times as well. This movie is also theologically rich and teaches us that we must be willing to do anything for the Lord no matter how challenging it is. This movie also teaches us that we should rely on the Lord's strength to endure persecution. Also, one more thing that I will add. This movie teaches us that we must obey God rather than man. Number 3, Power of the Air, 2018. This movie talks about how most of the Western Church is deceived and indulges in a lot of profane entertainment that Christians should not indulge in. This movie also talks about how we should not be lukewarm. Number 4, Touched by Grace, 2014. This is a beautiful movie that teaches us to respect everyone, even those who have mental disorders. This movie can also give you the assurance that the future of the church is in good hands as well. And now for the next 4 movies. Number 5, I Still Believe, 2020. This movie is about one of the hardships that Jeremy Camp had to deal with earlier in life. This movie also teaches us how we can navigate through hardships with the Lord's help. This is a very good movie indeed, and is a must-watch. Number 6, Run the Race, 2018. This movie teaches us to set alternative goals in a godly manner. So this way, if the main goal we have set does not work out, then we have the alternative goals to fall back on. This movie also tells us that the alternative goals could possibly have better outcomes than the main ones. Number 7, Homeless for the Holidays, 2009. This movie teaches us to not chase after status, money, materialism, and consumerism, but instead be humble and help those in need if you have the ability to do so. This movie also shows the beauty of helping those in need. This movie is definitely a must-watch. When we help those in need, we of course shouldn't film social media posts of ourselves doing it, because if we did that, then we would be flying in the face of the first couple of verses of Matthew chapter 6. Number 8, Always a Winner, 2023. This movie teaches us to have good sportsmanship and also not to be prideful or cocky. This is a very good and wholesome movie to watch. This is also a must-watch too. Number 9, Because of Gracia, 2017. This is a very nice movie that teaches intelligent design. This movie also teaches you how to be bold when you do things for the Lord that are difficult to do. This movie also tells us that we must rely on the Lord's strength to do the things for Jesus that we can't do on our own. Number 10, Mr. Manhattan, 2024. This movie teaches us not to put money and success ahead of others. It's a very nice movie and also shows how redemption is possible. This is a must-watch, which means it's a really good movie. Number 11, 2 Tango, 2013. This is a very nice Christian romance movie that tells us how we should not be unequally yoked, and the movie also tells us how looking for someone of the opposite gender to marry should be taken seriously. This movie also shows us how to handle misunderstandings too. Number 12, Praise Band, 2008. This movie teaches us how different styles of Christian music can indeed be glorifying to God. This movie teaches us that it is not the style of the worship music that matters, but it is what the worship music is teaching you that matters. If a worship song does not teach any heresies, aka damnable lies, then you can indeed listen to it, since in that case, it's biblically sound. Number 13, Belle and the Beast, 2007. This movie teaches us that we should not judge a book by its cover. This movie also shows how anyone is capable of changing for the better and truly coming to the Lord. Anyone who begins following the Lord will indeed be saved, no matter how heinous his or her life was prior to conversion. When we get converted, God forgives all of our sins, no matter how severe the sins were. Number 14, A Greater Yes, 2009. This is a very inspiring movie that teaches selflessness. This movie also teaches us about how we can have a positive impact on others, especially our friends. This movie also tells you about the power of prayer, too. Number 15, Birthright Outlaw, 2023. This is a very nice old Western movie that tells us about hope and also promotes bravery. If you love Western movies, then this movie is definitely for you. Number 16, Courageous, 2011. This movie teaches us about how a godly father should care for his family. This movie also warns us about how hypocrisy has some serious consequences. The movie also tells you about the rough outcome of fatherless homes. Now for the last four movies. Number 17, Wilderness Life, 2024. Both movies of the Wilderness Life series are very edifying and are very nice movies to watch, especially if you love the outdoors. The first one shows you an example of what living off the grid could look like during warm times of the year. The second one shows you what living off the grid could look like in winter. This is a 2-in-1 on the list, as both movies are about half an hour long. Both movies teach you about the beauty of God's creation. Number 18, Surf Off, 2025. This is a movie filled with solid biblical truth that teaches you about having a positive impact with God-fearing Christian friends. This movie also shows you how evangelism should be done. The movie also tells you about how we should not chase after materialism, consumerism, fame, money, and status. The movie also tells you about how most social media posts are a total facade. Number 19, On the Edge, 1989. This movie shows you how talking to others about the Lord should be properly done. This movie also shows a good demonstration about how Jesus is the only way to heaven. If you love 80s movies and outdoorsy movies, then this movie is definitely for you. Number 20, The Secrets of Jonathan Sperry, 2009. This is a very nice movie that teaches about living for the Lord. This movie also tells us about how tomorrow is never promised. This is also a laid-back movie, and it's a very good movie to watch. That is it for this video. Have a nice day. Please subscribe. And goodbye.